Cables and cords in the Clutter Corner today. That's what we're talking about. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, those of you that are unfamiliar with the Clutter Corner, it is a table that we're just setting up. You can set it up in any area of your house. We're going to remove items from their normal home in the house so that we disconnect the emotional attachments we have to those things in that area. Then we're going to bring them to a disconnected spot, and we're going to take a look at them from a different angle, and we're going to decide if we really want them in our lives or if we're ready to let go of them. So we're giving ourselves permission today to do one of three things. We're either going to keep them, which is great, and if we are, we're going to use them. Number two, we're going to donate them either to a school or a charity or a donation center. And number three, we're going to just toss it out as if it's obsolete and no one could ever use it again, okay? So for that, I have an empty box. My empty box has a couple of bags in it. If there's anything we're gonna throw away and send to the junkyard, we're gonna put it inside the bag. If it's a donation that we can give away, it's gonna go inside this box. So I'm gonna put this back on the floor just so that we have room on our table to work, but that is our plan. All right, today I've got two tiny boxes. We usually just do one big box, but today we're gonna do two tiny boxes. And you can see that I have in these boxes a bunch of cables and cords. And these are actually well maintained. They're like rolled up and they've got elastics on them, which is going to make deciding whether we're going to use them or not easy. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them all out on the table so that I can see how much space they're taking up in our lives, and then decide, do we want to hang on to them? Do we want to put these back in a storage unit? And that's the key. If they came from a storage unit, nobody's using them. So it's a pretty good bet we can get rid of some of this stuff unless we're saving it for a rainy day. But let's decide, shall we? The first thing I'm pulling out is just a weird piece of plastic. I don't know what this is, and I don't know to what it goes to. It doesn't seem like it's connected to anything. I'm going to just put this right inside the trash bin right away because I don't think we're going to need it. And as we lay this out, this looks like an antenna to a TV, a little TV antenna of some sort. Let's not even lay this out on the table. Let's just make a decision right now, as we already touched it, that this can go in our donation bin. We don't need it, but it's brand new. It's in the packaging. Maybe somebody else can use it. Let's see. I have some cables, and these look like they belong to an old JVC recorder or something with the sound. They've got the yellow, green, and red attachments, and maybe it goes to a TV or something. It's in this box. Nobody's using it. Let's donate this because there's somebody probably somewhere that can use it, but it's not us. Okay, so as I lay all this stuff out, I'm going to put them in light categories, and this also looks like it goes to a laptop computer or something. And another, what looks like it could be a laptop plug-in. And a stopwatch. I'm going to put that by the Sony. Maybe those were for a runner or something. I've got a rechargeable battery possibility. I've got caller ID from an old Bell South telephone. I'm going to put that with the telephone cords. And I've got a couple of USB connectors that have small adapters that probably go into an old camera. I'll put those together. And another Ethernet connector. And that looks like that goes to a laptop as well. And I've got a little bungee looking cord. And I'm checking out the ends of these to see what these might go to. That looks like it goes to a microphone or a headset or something. That might still be good. It might not. That might be obsolete. I'm going to put that over here. It looks like a computer outlet. I've got a waterproof case that a smartphone goes in. That's probably still useful if someone goes scuba diving. And I have in here an extension cord that's useful and could still be used if that's a power surge protector. We'll put that here on the end. And more Ethernet connectors, and this is a thicker cord. And the good news about going through a box like this is it reminds you of the kind of cables and cords that you have. So if you do buy a new piece of equipment, or if you come across an old piece of equipment that you don't know if it's working or not, now at least you have some resources to tag in between, because you say, well, probably in this stack, there's a plug that fits that, right? Or in the Ethernet stack, there's an Ethernet cable that's long enough that it will stretch from the wall over to my computer if that's what we need for the day. So once you know what you need, knowing what you have makes it a whole lot easier to not just run out and buy new cables. And another USB connector for small household items, and another one for smart household items. Okay, so that is the end of our box. We've gone through 2 boxes, a little box and a big box. Now, I'm going to keep some of this stuff because I don't know whether or not some of the items still exist, but I did tell the homeowner that I would go through all of these things and I would take out the things that I know that technology is not useful anymore. Now, I do know for a fact that the homeowners here do not have a landline phone. So we're going to grab all of the landline items for the old landline phones. Somebody somewhere might need these. I don't know. This might just be junk. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the big box because we can donate this. And I'm thinking of donating it probably to I don't know, maybe a Goodwill or something. They probably get a lot of different units that come in that they could use plugs and stuff like that for. I just don't know. I'm taking these phone adapters, and I'm taking the little caller ID thing. That might be junk, who knows? But it might also be a place where a filmmaker or a YouTuber would go to the thrift store and they would find some of this stuff and say, hey, that's valuable to me. And they use it either for props or whatever. I'm going to grab this whole section over here, which is the Sony Walkman and the headphones and all that stuff. While it seemed fun, I don't even want to see if it works. If somebody wants to test it out, that's great. I do think I want to hang on to these Ethernet cables. I know that there are some uses for Ethernet cables because some people are still plugging their computers into the wall. So I'm going to put these inside this smaller box to make sure that it's kept in a safe place where it can be easily accessed should they upgrade their internet connection. Along with that box, there are a bunch of little cables that are for household items. And this could be electric toothbrushes, it could be a smartphone, it could be an iPod, or gizmos, rechargeable batteries, things like that. So those are all different sizes and they come in handy. I am going to save those in case somebody wants to use those and wants to keep those. At least they'll have those. There are some cable outlets, and I'm going to put these in the donation box. Everything in the house is already connected to TVs and the internet. And I'm guessing that probably when they had their internet upgraded to a higher speed, that these are old cables that they're no longer using. And so they're in this box, meaning no one's using them. And they were in a storage unit, which means no one's using them. So those are going to go in the donation box. The rechargeable battery thing is probably awesome, but I don't see any batteries. And I don't know if this is universal or if it's specific or if it's old or if it's working. I'm going to put it also in the donation box. The cigarette lighters, I think at a time those were probably awesome. I don't know, unless you have this particular kind of cord on the bottom, it's probably not useful to someone, but I think nowadays people just have USB things built right into their car, so we'll get rid of that. Here's another one. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the donation box. And this looks like it goes to the video chargers. I'm going to put that in here as well. I'm not going to go scuba diving anytime soon. I don't know anybody that is. I don't believe the homeowners in their particular phase of life are going to use this. I'm going to put this in here as well. And so now we've narrowed it down to a bunch of computer cables or things that look like they go to oil diffusers or something like that. I don't know what these go to, but they seem to be household item plugs. So I'm going to put these in the bigger box because these might go on the back burner, like they might hold on to them for another 3 or 4 months. And as they're going through the different rooms of their house, as they find items, then they will have the plugs to test them out to see if they work. And then if they don't keep the items and they don't use these on the next round in 3 months, then we'll donate this box. And we'll keep it in a separate box. We'll donate this box to the Goodwill or whatever at that time. Okay, so we just put all those in there. What's left? I have a couple of USB cords, and these look like they go to a printer. I'm not sure if they have any printers that would use this, but we're going to go ahead and hang on to those just because I know for a fact that even in my office, we still have a printer with a cable like that. So maybe there are still some old little printers or scanners that people are using. All right, there are a couple of these that have weird plugs that I'm not familiar with, and I'm familiar with lots of plugs. I've seen lots of these. I'm going to put those in the donation thing. They were here, and it appears no one's using them. Okay, so I've got a couple of universal plugs. These could go to lights. These could go to film activities. These could go to like fans, household fans. I'm going to hang on to these 3 as well because these are useful. And I'm going to put these in this little box because this is going to be the keep box. And that's a household plug. And I honestly don't know what kind of a plug this is. It says JVC on it, so I'm guessing that's an old camcorder or something. I'm going to put that in here. And this is probably good and can be washed. I will put it in here as well. Okay, so this is going to be a maybe box. This is a maybe box for the next couple months. So we're going to put this on, put it in storage, but don't, keep it available so that if we have new items that come up, we can recycle this stuff. And then in 3 months, this box is going to go if nobody's used anything from this box. And we're going to keep this plug as well. So this will be the keep. This will be the donate. And I do have a toss with just a couple of small items in it, a piece of plastic that we don't know what it goes to, and what could be an old broken headphone set. So this was our clutter corner for the day. It was kind of weird, kind of fun, kind of zany, but now we know at a glance what types of cables and cords we have. And I will have the homeowners go through this one to double check to see if there's anything they're going to use right now. If not, it can go inside this box. And we'll put this box close to the storage unit door. And so every time they come in, they can be reminded that, oh yes, these are the plugs that go to the items that they're going to uncover as they go through the rest of the items for their clutter corner. All right, that's it for today. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up. If you got questions or you want to participate with us, go over to Hoarding World. I will leave links in the show notes. It's a Facebook group where you can take before and after pictures. It's a great support group. You do not have to be a hoarder to participate. So come join us and we'll see you over there. Until then, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.